All right, well, hello and welcome back as we get ready for the first game of the night. Hoping for a good one as we are going to have the Boston Peregrine Falcons taking on the Bedford Bulldogs. Give me just 1 minute to make sure that the lobby is up and good, and then we will get into this one. Definitely hoping for a good one, as always, and I'm interested to see what we get. I think for sure. That's not right. I made the lobby wrong. My Discord message matched what I typed in the lobby, but the lobby is not what it should have been. So, got that. And then the other team. And there we go. All right. Looking at things now. We got Boston sitting at 2-0, Bedford at 1-1. And it is, of course, then 2 straight wins for Boston versus a loss most recently for the Bulldogs. You can also see different opponents, I'd say. Looking at Boston's, fair, honestly. But looking at Boston's opponents, it's fair to say that they haven't played the hardest teams. Playing Buffalo and Vancouver, who are obviously both 0-2, and Vancouver had other things going on, which also added to that effect. Meanwhile, on the other side, KC, not the greatest opponent, currently sitting at 0-3. But then on the other side, you have Madison, who, of course, are one of the strong teams, and that's their loss. So, absolutely, I think Boston have played better. But strength of opponent, it'll be interesting to see. As we have 2 games played so far, a Game 4 and a Game 5. We're hoping to not get the full set of results with a sweep in this one. But we'll have to wait and see. Moving over to our standings then. It's Incheon currently alone at 3-0 with Boston trying to join them. And then it is Bedford trying to avoid falling to join Denver. And of course Buffalo and KC currently sitting down at 0-3. Moving over to our stats then, Gamer and Z Bloom are the key players, with of course Bozy being the new name added to this Bedford team. See, I just disagree, Lemon. As I'll get through this, then I'll talk about predictions and stuff. As the averages are completely tied, 3-3, with more goals and shots for Boston, but a better shooting percentage for Bedford out of that. Then also more assists, which makes sense with more goals. But then on the other side, more saves and demos. So maybe more offense versus more defense on the split between these 2 teams. Looking at a prediction, and Lemon, who first said Boston in 3, and then followed that up by saying, I don't know if Bedford get a goal. I disagree. I think I'm going to predict Boston, because that's just the way that I lean. That's the way the results have went. But I'm certainly not that confident. And it's mainly because we just haven't seen that out of Boston. That I believe they could win. I believe they could sweep. But at the same time, I have not seen them be a team that's controlling enough to get a perfect sweep. And could we get that out of them? Yes. But I don't know. If I'm going to make a prediction, I don't want to predict a sweep. I like this Bedford roster, and I don't think Boston are a team, from what we've seen, that I'm confident in saying will sweep. And so I kind of want to say a 3-1, because I do still favor Boston. I would not be surprised at all if it goes to 5. And, of course, there's a possibility that Boston come out stronger than we've seen, and we get the win. Or we get a sweep coming through. As we do have both teams in, but we need one player to leave. As well, that's possible because Pitt isn't in for Game 1, at least as of now, of course, and I would be surprised if it changes. As we do now have everyone in, and we should be good to go, and so it's time to jump in for our first series of the night. We got Boston on the blue side, Bedford on the orange side. One team sitting at 2-0, one at 1-1, but only one well, only 2 spots in the standings remove them from each other, as we don't have everyone joined a roster. Someone is on the wrong team, I do believe. And so now I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to give us a kickoff, and we're going to go. Oh, well, cool. Okay. Now I think we're good. So it was, I paused. Okay, as that's in, by the way. So, hey, Bedford got a goal. But it's 1-0 Bedford. So a player joined the wrong team. And so as the kickoff started to go, it wasn't right. So I had to pause it. Then I'm thinking, okay, perfect. Let me just restart from a kickoff, because that way, you know, cool. Then we just reset. But because it was already on a kickoff, it still, when I pressed unpause, went with the 0.1 seconds left before go. And so it was just instantly back in. So I had to then reset again to a kickoff. But we're good. We got gameplay. We got players on both teams. I think I need to turn up my game volume. I'll probably do that next goal, depending on what it is. Because this one's up in the air again. Bloom not going to get that touch. Bacon diving in. The shot is wide. So, of course, we kind of skipped over it with all of that, but a strong start for Bedford as they get that first goal on the board. I think that's, if nothing else, pretty big for confidence. As, of course, we do have Adam in and Pitt sitting out, as he did in their last series. I imagine, especially if they lose, we'll see a swap happen, as that one's on target, maybe a little bit wide, and Bozy will push it all the way out to the side. I don't know how much we really focused on it. I do believe I mentioned it, that, of course, Bozy coming in as a roster change for Bedford. As we saw Draco move to the free agent market, where he was then picked up by Inchin. So, new dynamic here for the Bulldogs. And of course, not in a terrible spot, sitting at 1-1 right in the middle of the standings, but even still, you don't want to stay down or struggling or anything for long. You want to get as many wins as you can, and you want to feel as confident as a team as you can. So they're hoping for a strong start as this one centered back out towards Bacon. He'll take a shot, but it is blocked wide again. Another save made for Bozy, as Bedford are still clinging to this lead. Bloom now trying to get up towards it. Gamer will pass it across, dropping down. No one there. Bozy bangs it away. Now down again. Bozy around the outside. Bacon will get the clear out. Adam now in the air. Trying to bounce this one down. It gets towards net where Bloom will get it away. Now Bloom 50'd out by Adam. Gamer just going to send it straight up. Lynx will dive in. Now off the side wall. Bacon will shoot. Bozy's there. Gamer up next, but Lynx is there too. And see, this is kind of the criticism I was saying of Boston. And it's not even like, of course, again, Pitt isn't in this lobby. As Bloom is on that one, it's 50'd wide. So Pitt isn't in this lobby, but it is something kind of similar that we did see in week 1 too, as that shot is blocked away by Adam. Boston so far just don't have speed, as that one is in again by Bloom, and it's a bit of a floater, so let me quickly change the game audio. Apologies, you do miss that replay, but you saw it. It was just a floater coming through. As Bloom had it on the side, got that shot in, and doubled the lead now 2-0. But, I mean, it's just what we've seen. They are getting the pressure, but it's a couple slower shots, and nothing to really crash the net or make them panic or capitalize on if a save goes, like, if it pops out towards midfield. Someone could be there for a shot, but they typically haven't been. And I think that's the main criticism for Boston, especially because in the past few seasons, pretty much all of the best teams, and especially the best team, have played in a go fast, like, pseudo prism way, where they just try to suffocate you, beat you to every ball, and trap you back. Of course, you've seen Boston last season kind of playing like that with Chance on the team. You think of Luxor with Stewie. You think of Erie in season 1 with Yak. These teams, and of course Stewie on that one too, but it just feels like the teams that are at the top kind of play more like what I expect out of Daytona. As this one's up, 50 wide by Bloom, where you just got a couple players that go fast, do mechanics, score goal, pressure. And, I mean, it can be said, that's never something we've seen Gamer's team do. And that's not a slight at him. That's just not the play style that his teams have followed. And so far, we haven't seen that out of this team. And I'm interested to see if they do try to look towards that, who leads that charge? Obviously, Bacon and Pitt have both been in that situation. I'd say Bacon has been quite forward with it, although Pitt has been quite an offensive player. But more importantly, focusing in on this game, Bacon does get a goal here. His Gamer just a good 50. Bloom completely caught out. And then Bacon's just there behind him, able to get the shot on target. And so Boston are back within one. 38 seconds left to go, and this one is not over just yet. It's now popped out off the sidewall. Boozy already up. He'll play it down into the corner. Now bounced out. Lynx off the corner looking for another. He'll get a 50, but Gamer wins it the other way. Gamer now maybe a bit of panic. Gives it right to Boozy. That could have been an open net, but that tough shot wasn't made. Another attempt from Bloom, blocked away by Bacon, as now Bacon goes even on another 50. Now in the air, time running short. Gamer will get it forward, but he'll give his life. Adam now trying to center it out. Bacon moving in. They get it away. Lynx does pop it up in the air, but Boozy guides it down. And Bedford take the first game. Not a team to be overlooked. As, I mean, we see, of course, the sub game come through for Boston, trying to get those numbers up and get some play time for their fourth. But in the end, it's a strong game for Bedford as they strike early, then don't give it back. And so we are going to see Pitt coming in. But at the same time, we're also going to see Frighten coming in for Lynx. So this will be an interesting one. Obviously, Frighten, we've not seen a whole lot in this season. And so, what is the team dynamic here? Just from my head, I would say it might be a better team. It's probably a more aggressive one, at the very least, with Frighten. But, I mean, of course, yet to be seen. As we can also say with Pitt, a roster we also kind of haven't seen much, because in week 2, played with the sub roster all 3 games. And week 1, went to 5, but it's been a while since then. As this one's sent down by Pitt. I think the main question is, does he help his team to get that next level and to get more pace on offense? As he'll try to dive in for this one, pass across, Bacon's there, dunk straight up in the air. But no one can jump except Bloom, who will get it away. Bacon now over towards the side, still waiting under it. He'll get the play forward, but it's dunked in by Boozy. Pitt now the catch to the side. He'll look for a pinch. Won't be able to get much power without a flip. And it's dunked back in by Frighten. Gamer now forced to reset. He'll go from his own back wall. Locked in by Bloom. Pitt trying to take it the other way, but he doesn't have boost, and Boozy will get it away. Dropping down off the backboard, but Gamer is there. He'll sweep it to the side. And now with 4 minutes left to play, we're still scoreless. We've been quite back and forth. I think largely, or like overall, probably Boston favored, but it has been exceedingly back and forth overall. As this one's played across, Bacon trying to jump in, but it's cleared out by Boozy again. Right now in there next, he'll win the challenge down, looking for the shot. Pitt gets a save, Bacon sweeps it out. Now Bacon from the sidewall again, looking to drop it in, but it's blocked out to the side. Now Bloom trying to pass it across. Dunked back down by Gamer again. Still trying to stay with this one, dunked up off the side wall. Bacon now up. That one towards the backboard. Gamer looking for the redirect, but can't keep it on target. And it'll bounce out to the corner, where now it's another 50 lost by Pitt. Approaching 2 minutes played, still nothing on the board. As Bacon demoed right as that corner boost spawns. Bosey's shot is wide, and it's banged downfield by Boston. Right now over to Bosey. Bosey, that's on target. Gamer will get back to parry it out. Gamer now another 50. He'll go through one. Bacon trying to catch up to it. Down towards the back wall. Bloom still staying with it. And now bounced away again. Kind of a similar thing that we've been back and forth. We've seen moments of pressure for Boston, but nothing that can sustain. As Bosey trying to get to this one, just beats one and then two double commit. Bloom now trying to recenter, dropped across, but Bacon uncontested, gets it away again. Another one cleared forward by Gamer, but it's caught down by Bosey. Now up in the air. This one played across. Frightened, looking to bang it downfield. Bacon will get it up to the side. Bacon now across again. Hit. Trying to catch this one as here we're seeing a pretty decent run of play, but Gamer maybe gets a little bit close. That caused him to slow down in his ability to challenge. And again, Bedford will break out as another double commit there. It feels like Boston now maybe trying to rush a little bit, getting in each other's way, driving for the same ball, then one is forced to leave it and is out of position. So they're not going all the way to both diving for it, but in essence, same effect. As Pitt tries to force this one forward, 95 seconds left to go here. Bosey will clear it forward. Bacon now, long shot, that's on target, but Bloom dives back in time. Now another one sent across. Bacon diving in, up high. Pitt to roll it down. There's Gamer. It takes all three, but Boston break through, and they get first blood here. A great touch by Pitt there. Drops it down for Gamer. The defense wasn't ready for it. And after a long game, Boston finally gained the upper hand. But a lot of time left to go, so this one will help. Off the kickoff, Pitt Cop gets the next goal. And so as soon as the first goal goes through, the seal is broken. And Boston don't take long to add on. We're still just under 75 seconds left to go, so not out of it here for Bedford, but starting to look a little bit more rough. As this one cleared downfield, trying to chase it is Frightened, but he'll go even on the 50, which favors Boston because Pitt's there to clear it away. Bloom now looking for the touchdown. Gamer has a shot, but it's wide off the post, and Bosey will now get a clear. Running the other way, gets it around one, over a second, but Frightened can't get the shot. Gamer will get it back to midfield, and Boston survive again. Now another one towards the net, cleared the other way. Frightened trying to bounce it in, it's up in the air. Gamer trying to play it forward, a good aerial play as he'll get all the way down to the Bedford corner. Frightened now trying to get out, won't get the touch. Pitt plays it right back in. Time running low, a familiar feeling, the inverse of the last game. 15 seconds, dropping down to 10. Still a multi-goal lead here. And it's not gonna happen on DFH for Bedford. Boston get their response, they get their game back. And it's a tied series after 2. I will say, I mean, it's kind of just the main thing I'm saying with Boston. Just that kind of team. Where whenever you watch, you just notice something and you go, well, that's why these games are close. As it is, the other thing is it's quite unusual. You know, it feels strange for Pitt Cop to not have that sort of team. I mean, I go through it. Season 1, they had Nerd Justin. He was the player that turned them into that. Season 2, I believe, a little bit of an off season. They had Cloudsy and Arium. That one a little bit more towards the middle, and of course the results were the same. But then last season, back with Chance. Once again, kind of dominating in terms of speed, and then of course finally getting that championship out of it. So a change of pace, quite literally, for Boston. And we'll see how they match up once they do play those teams like Daytona. But for now, it's clearly enough. As when they play these other teams that don't have that pace, then they gain the advantage through that neutral game. That you'll see some carries like that from Gamer. You'll see a couple good passes, and that's enough to earn them their goals. But I'm just interested to see, once they're losing the pace, they haven't shown they can match it. But, as we said, it's absolutely working now, because it's goal number 1 to Gamer, and it's first blood for the second game in a row to Boston. 40 seconds in, it's 1-0 for the team in blue. And Bedford will once again be playing from behind here. Right now, not going to reach that one. Bloom all the way down. It'll bounce around. Bloom the pinch out. Luck to the side by Bosie. Now up in the air again. A demo will come through from Gamer. Now bouncing downfield. Another demo from Bacon. Bacon now a boost steal. He's still hunting, but Bloom hides from him. And he'll get enough on that one to force it off the line. Now cleared away again. This one dropped down. Bosie the pass back. Bacon now finds the opening, and it's 2. Who needs pressure when you can punish the overcommit? All 3 Bedford players on one screen. None of them have boost. None of them have a chance. Bacon just a long clear that loops its way in. And it is now 2-0 for Boston for the second game in a row. And we'll see if Bedford can try to pull it back. Now popped away, Pitt, not going to get behind that one. Gamer going to get beat as well, waiting under it, looking for a cut. Now 50 away. Pitt off the back wall. Bacon around the outside, but 50 away again as Bloom tries to keep it away, and then Frighten the same thing. That one will fall just wide, and Bacon will send it all the way out. And we'll send it right back on target, but Gamer is up early, and he will make the play. Now Frighten is sent into orbit by Bloom. Bloom alone. Good first touch. Good 50 on the second. Is still awkward for his team, but not an immediate threat. And so Bosie and Frighten combine, and they get a shot on target on the other end. Bloom, though, that touch a little bit less ideal. It's straight backwards. Frighten will have to play it. He'll bang it up in the air. No one is there to jump, so Gamer will just catch it, but now it's pressured by Bedford. Bosie eventually gets demoed, but it's 3 demos across the field in short order. Pitt now down off the back wall, but a clean read by Bosie to get it away from him. Right, not going to connect on that one. Bosie will, and I believe a second touch there that makes it awkward for Boston, although they will still at least keep it even. Bosie now up towards the corner once again. Bedford looking to build some pressure, looking to get at least a goal back. As of course they are still down by 2. So they do need to try to get it back the other way here. This one's around the outside. It's Bosie straight up in the air. Frightened to drop it down. Now up in the air. Back. This one on target, but it's blocked out to the left side. Now Frighten just trying to get it back, but Bacon's trying to put the pressure on until he loses a 50, and that goes all the way back. Now Pitt trying to take control, but he gives it up to Bloom. All of the pressure in favor of Bedford, but yet they still haven't been able to score. And I think this is likely a strength of Boston. Of course, Gamer, as I said, has typically been a more of that defensive overall, like just where he needs to be player. And so if Boston are able to settle into a rotation, just settle into a game like this, then they have 3 players that can absolutely just kind of control it in the way that they allow it to be neutral. And they play their defense, and they get their clears, and there's that. The fear becomes more when they need to score, as that's an exterminator for Gamers. He's still adding on. That's 8 demos now, I do believe. But the issue becomes when they need to score, when they need that pace. That's when, obviously, they need it, and we haven't seen it. But that has been few and far between thus far. It's been another pretty clean game for Boston. This one, though, could go the other way until Pitt does get back there for it. 30 seconds left to go here, and once again, time just starting to run down on the game and starting to run down on Bedford. Because I think Bozy could have left that one, and it could have been better, but instead he tries to play it, and it just doesn't really work out. Bozy now trying to get it down the sideline, staying behind it, looking for the cut, but he cuts to no one. The clock will run down, and it's 2 straight for Boston. They have match point. A game very similar to the last. As once again, Boston even in shots 6-6. But they outscored 2-0, and they have obviously 6 shots to go with it. As there are also 2 unaccounted for shots from the Boston side, but don't worry about it. That's not important. What's important is that they got their goals and then they played the game and didn't give any to the other team. And as I said in the middle of it, I think that is probably the primary strength of this team in that we've seen, especially last week and in games 2 and 3 this week. They can control a game. Not in the way of they'll get all of the pressure, they'll dominate the game, but they can get a lead and they can just settle into a run of play and not let that change much. They might not score, but neither will their opponent, and if they already have a lead, that's fine. And this one's played forward by Pitt. I think from what we've seen, again, I think the main thing against Boston, get that first goal, force them to go into you, force them to make the play happen. But of course, we'll see. As that one just blocked out off the side. Bloom trying to get it away, now sent downfield. Played off the left wall, Pitt trying to center it across, Bacon up early, 50 down off the left wall. Pitt now gonna let that one go by. Bozy moving in, it's on, but it's saved up away by Gamer. Now up around the outside again, Gamer trying to get it away. Frighten will send it back in, he'll get a big dunk. Pitt is there, but it's Bloom racing in, and there is goal number 1 in favor of Bedford. For the first time since game 1, they will get first blood. Now sent down the sideline. 50'd out off the left wall, dropping back down again. Bloom will bang this one down, and now it's cleared along by Gamer. Pitt is in the air. Frighten won't get much behind it. And we are tied up again. 1-1. Boston get their response. Now Pitt trying to play it forward again. 3.5 minutes left to go. Plenty of time for both sides in now an even game state. Now this one played across high in the air, blocked away for now. Bloom will try to keep it in. Now up off the back wall again. This one sent downfield and played across. Bloom able to jump up for it. Pinched away by Boston. Now under 3 minutes left to go. Gamer trying to pop it up in the air. Bozy will just bang it down the other way. Now it flies across and Bacon will get another clear. Boston just not allowing it to get into their half. Apart from this one, which was a bit of a back pass, intentionally or not, and Gamer will send it right back in. Half the game left to play. Still 1-1 here. Bozy is following it up. Pitt trying to get it around. Popped back again. Gamer not going to get to that one. Bacon, a flick over to the right side. Now Bloom trying to play it forward. This one knocked down. Bloom still behind it. Popped off the corner. Frighten is there. It's 2-1. Bedford take the lead. The Bulldogs are in front again. As now we have 2 minutes left to go. Boston once again trailing. Will need a response if they want to close it out in 4 games. Pitt beat on that one. Gamer trying to roll it in, but Bloom is there for the block. Now Pitt are on the outside again. Dunks come through. It's on the line. And Pitt secures. 2-2. Pitt Cop collects for his team. And it is now a tie game again. This one now sent down. Bloom over to the right wall. Bacon already on it. He gets it popped up. Looking for another. Won't get much there. Now 50'd back. Pitt diving in. 50'd over to the right wall. Brighton still following it. Knocks it down. And it goes in. Brighton makes it 3-2. Just a sidewall shot that pops perfectly through. And it is gonna be another Bedford lead as the time continues to slowly work its way down. Gamer now around the outside trying to stay behind it as it's Bloom up in the air next. Pick up, down off the back wall, up high, Bacon there, low shot, but Bloom gets in the way. Pitt trying to roll it forward. Posey trying to get it away. Now Gamer around, looking for a pass down. Bacon is demoed, Pitt is there, but he's 50'd away. Final minute. Pitt up in the air again, looking to dive in, dunked away. Bacon now can't get it forward. This one's dropping in. Wide for now. Brighton going. Beat by Gamer. Now the counter is on. Gamer looking for a pass. Finds Bacon, but it's too high. The shot can't come through. 35 seconds to go now. And as we continue to get lower, Game 5 begins to loom. Now gonna get a fake, but it might work out against him because Posey just gets a strong challenge and a shot, and it might be one that clinches the game. Posey beats them all, and it's 4-2. A lead for Bedford with 20 seconds to go. And it's looking less and less likely. We see Boston come back. Posey can't get it. Brighton can. Hat trick for him. It's 5 for Bedford. And the series will not end here. 12 seconds left to go now, but it's just a formality. Boston, not nearly enough answers here on Utopia. And so they know what map is coming up next. Boston will keep it alive, but eventually it drops. And there's only one destination left to play. The goals on the series now tied up at 7. As they're actually going to get outshot 9-8. And yet they outscore 5-2. And so we look forward. One more game. The only thought that's still there. And it's time for Champions Field. Boston, a franchise that were champions just 1 season ago. But can they stay undefeated? Because Bedford don't want to break. And so we head to one last game. One last tiebreaker in this series. Bedford looked like they were down, getting outscored 4-0 in games 2 and 3. But of course, that won't be all from them as they then put up 5 in game number 4 and cruise their way all the way here. So now the question is, will that momentum carry through, or can Bacon and Boston re-stabilize themselves? I was trying to say Boston. Bacon was on the ball. I went, Bacon. This one's popped across. Bloom trying to get it away. Awkward for Pitt as he can only neutralize this. Bosey's already there towards net, and it's popped wide. Bloom now trying to slow it down, but Pitt won't let him. Bacon down the sideline again. Bloom just another long clear. Gamer's too far out, and it's just in. 1-0. Bedford lead. 4 minutes left to go. The first goal has decided each game thus far. And Boston do not want to change that. This one drops down. It's Pitcop up towards the back wall, bouncing back out. 50 out off the left wall now. A little bit of pandemonium in the corner as eventually everyone dies, but everyone misses. Pitt now moving in off the back wall, and he does it himself. Pitcop ties the game. Bang forward, reads the touch, dunks it in. It's 1-1. 3:45 to go, and Boston will not go quietly either. Gamer now up in the air, trying to get it down the sideline. Frighten won't get a touch. Gamer up in the air. Bacon up, can't drop it down, and will stay with parity. Gamer now down into the corner, looking for a double, but again too high, no one there. And so it's a clear coming through for Bedford. Frighten all the way down to the back wall. Bacon there, low boost, gets a touch out. Bosey there, but it's high and wide. Hit now on it first. He'll play it up the left wall. That'll get by Bloom. Demo to make sure of it, but Frighten's on it next. Frighten now off the corner. Popped out again. Bacon will send it long. And now this one popped away. And it's just gonna roll through. So we see a little bit of a slowdown in play, and it just kind of gets through the gap. Gamer rolls it in. Again, there's just no one back, and then Pitt the demo just to make sure of it. It looked like a clear, but for the second time this series, Bedford just get a little bit too excitable. Push downfield. And there's no one left to save a slow rolling shot. This one's off the back wall again. Bacon finds Pitt, looking for a shot, but a tough one. And he can't turn it on target, and it's just out to the corner. Now up in the air again. Gamer trying to keep it awkward. Bacon ends up with the clear. He can get a follow. But that one too far back for Gamer. Pitt a little bit awkward too, but he'll go even on the 50. Right now trying to center. Bosey already on it. Down towards net, but popped wide. Now bouncing down. Bloom looking for a center, but Pitt's already there. Bedford need more than that. Of course, they have 2 minutes left to play with, but you definitely don't want to wait too long. That's when desperation can set in and make it all worse. Miss Frighten tries to control this one. Will earn another 50 out of it. Now Bloom another one downfield. Gamer gets it over into the corner. Now a bump comes through. Bosey off the back wall. Bacon in the air. Clear downfield. Frighten looking for the catch. Bacon now up in the air again. Bloom still waiting on it. Not going to get much behind it. Bosey in the air. It'll drop back down. Gamer diving in, but it'll just float across. As we have 80 seconds left to go, and Bacon, another one that just kind of comes out of nowhere. Just gets up, bangs it off the side wall, and it goes straight in. Neither player on the goal line ready for it. And so Bacon, yeah, he earned it, but it's also a bit of a gift at the same time. And it's now 3-1 for Boston. And now it's 4. Okay, sure, why not? Boston, very happy with this one. As it's off the kickoff, Bacon just able to get up for another shot. Bosey trying to dive in, but not able to get too close to it, and there's no one behind him. So it's now 4-1, and it's looking pretty good for Boston. I think if they lose this one, disband the team and go next. I think that's kind of where we're at. Thoughts? Obviously not quite. These sorts of comebacks can happen, but they really shouldn't. Especially, we have complimented Boston that they have been pretty good at playing the defense and controlling a game to not allow these sorts of goals and comebacks. So we'll see. The Bacon tries to drill it downfield, looking for the challenge, drop down. Gamer not able to drop it below the bar. Bloom now almost beats Pitt, but he gets a piece of it. Gamer's touch, dunked by Bozy. 35 seconds to go. Gamer can jump this, but he can't quite get it. Pitt now down. Gamer lurking, but it's dunked up by Frighten. Bacon up next. A low ball as Pitt gets sent to the stratosphere, but not going to flip towards the ball. Or probably didn't have a flip, but not going to be able to get much on it. Cop now able to get to this one as he'll send it down to the corner. And hey, look at the clock. 10 seconds left to go. And down by 3. That is just going to do it. Bedford get a final push, but they will not get a final goal. And it's close through 4 games. But then Boston pull ahead. They're challenged again, but they close it out again. And the Peregrine Falcons are 3-0. Another one that, hey, you'd like to see it closer. If we're being real, you'd like to see it more clean. But, I mean, it wasn't, and it really didn't have to be in the end. Obviously, a win is a win. Now, for their tiebreakers, I'm sure, and it's just true, that they would have liked something a little bit more one-sided, especially in the games category. But, hey, didn't need it. They closed this one out, and they stayed undefeated. And we are going to have an interview, and so we will be back in just one moment. And we are back with Boston. Another close series, but you guys close it out in 5. Bacon, how's it feel to beat your apparent preseason rival?
Phenomenal. This was a pink slip match, aka we bet our wives. So I now have Mrs. Lynx. I've claimed her. She's mine. Fantastic. Nah, that's all jokes. That was great. Uh, consider that's the team we've scrimmed the most, right, Pitcop?
Oh yeah.
And we have felt the most confident against. But that was of course with Draco. I thought the Bozy sign was a downgrade, and I could be wrong. I think Frighten came out and played really well, and Bozy filled the gaps. It was a tough series.
Absolutely. And now, of course, there was the sub, but do you think it was just the sub that was the difference between games 1 and 2, or was there more of a conscious change there?
We gave that game away.
Yeah. Adam was having some confidence issues, and I think me and Gamer were as well. We whiffed a lot of balls that we shouldn't have. I've been known to say I feel like we lost game 1 more than they won it. But I mean, that's, the numbers across the board. We just didn't play well, which is weird because our scrims went really well. We felt warmed up. But, then you bring Pitcop in and we shut him out for 2 games in a row. That was pretty nice.
Absolutely. Then what happened in game 4? Was it just kind of
That's
back
the
to
big
that
one.
same as game 1, or?
We're here for stats. We're trying to pace Daytona.
Right.
I don't know. We played really bad, and Frighten played out of his mind. Frighten had a phenomenal game 4, on top of the rest of the series. Love you, baby.
Absolutely. And of course, up next on your schedule, you guys are slated to play up against Loudon. How do you feel about that matchup?
Oh, Pinky, me boy. You know what? It'll be a good matchup. Pinky has always been a good friend of mine. The friend of me and him went to the Boston Majors together, so I do think we take that no diff. But you know what? We're in for a surprise. We'll see. Shout out to the 3 that helped us warm up today. Appreciate you all. And I think this match was a good indicator of where we are, Doggo. I know it was a closer win than we would like to admit, But at the end of the day, a win is a win.
Mm-hmm.
Game 4, they brought the pressure, they brought the aggression, which worked really well. We weren't ready for it. And I think they even got like 2 of their last goals in the last 20 seconds. So it wasn't like we were blown out all game. So we were able to kind of clutch it up. We fixed what we did wrong, and we sold out the series. So you know what? We're excited for next week, and we will continue to see how we do. See who will be the first one to take a win from us.
Yeah, I do have to ask it because Kellen capitalized it, so you know he's proud of it. But he asked if there are any other teams that frighten you.
I think Madison will be tough, and I think
And Control.
Inchin could be tough. Then of course Daytona. I mean, they're going to be another one they're going to be favored in everything until they lose a game. So, and they're putting up all the stats. So, there's a number of good teams.
Absolutely. And unless you guys have anything else to add, I think that's all I have. So congratulations on your win.
Hey. I do want to add.
Yep.
Damn you, doggo. You always say we're slow, we're old. Give us a break. For me, the biggest rival in my head, the biggest competition is Daytona. They're
Fair.
fast, that cozy Aiden combo. Z Bloom, even though I know it's Bloom, wasn't enough to beat us. So
he lost
maybe
so
the cozy
choice in the pronunciation.
Yeah, now it's Z Bloom permanently. Sucks to suck. But you know what? Good game, Bulldogs. Hope your season goes back to positive. I definitely see them making playoffs. I just don't know where yet.
I don't. Suck at Lynx. You challenged me in the off season. Hold the L.
Well, Kellen said take the mic away, and I think we might have to go with that one. So congratulations to you guys on the win, and good luck next week.
GG's. Thank you.
GG.
Thank you.
All right, and that will do it for the first series of the night. Up next at 10 p.m., so kickoff in 13 minutes, we will have one more series with Daytona taking on Vancouver. Hoping for a good one there too, but we'll have to see when we get there. For now, your final score here, one last time. Boston 3, Bedford 2. We'll see you back in just a couple minutes.